The Canadian government cannot just do whatever it wants because of climate change. It's starting to sound a lot like Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights, thinking he can say whatever he wants as long as he says, with all due respect, before.
What was that?
Whoa, I said with all due respect.
No, that doesn't mean you get to say whatever you want to say to me.
Sure as heck does.
No, it doesn't mean that.
It's in the Geneva Convention. Look it up.
The Canadian government's attitude about climate change has gotten to the point that they think they can use that as an excuse to do whatever.
That's a lesson we need to apply to the climate crisis. Any failure to act immediately and decisively.
Canada accounts for 2% of global emissions. Putting a cap on carbon or using tax dollars to fund a bunch of initiatives, whether it be our country or other countries, is hardly going to make a dent in the issue. And besides, there are other ways of solving this climate change issue. It's certainly a debatable topic as to what degree human beings are responsible for any climate change, but there are people like Elon Musk building companies, or a person named David Friedberg from the All In podcast who has this take on how we're going to fix climate change.
Actually, sorry.
Yeah, I'm generally just I'm an optimist about solutions anyway, but I think human ingenuity has always prevailed. So all this pessimism and catastrophizing, I do disagree with respect to there is science that indicates that there are elements that were kind of affecting things in an adverse way, in a challenging way. But I'm not concerned about the challenges just because of where human technology sits and the things we can do.
The issue of climate change is not going to be solved by the government bureaucracy of a relatively small country. And I think a lot of Canadians are tired of seeing this used as a political tool to push through any legislation that the government wants. And by the way, climate change itself is such an elitist issue. It is something that you can afford to put your effort towards once you have all the basic needs you have met in life. Canada has a massive housing crisis. It is substantially more expensive for the younger generations, Gen Z and millennials, to afford homes than it was for Gen X and baby boomers. So to say that climate change is this major issue of our time and that it's just this crazy emergency that we need to act on immediately is a lot more easy, a lot more convenient when you have a house, you can afford basic necessities of life, you can afford to take vacations, etc. But the reality is that for most young Canadians, this is not the reality. They are struggling to get ahead financially to the part where they can even own a home and take a vacation. So in my view, governments, when they take money and they put it towards initiatives like climate change, have to be way more mindful that climate change is not the biggest issue for most people in life. Whether or not the government or whoever wants to keep selling that, it's not true. Again, climate change is something that you can focus your time and energy on when you have all the basic needs of life already met. Thanks for watching this video, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.